The year was 1859. The date was September 1st. The sun unleashed a massive burst of energy. We call it the Carrington Event. It was a solar storm. In fact, it was the most powerful solar storm ever recorded. The Carrington Event taught us a powerful lesson. Our sun is not always calm and predictable. It can be a source of incredible power. And sometimes that power can be unleashed upon Earth. This event is a reminder. We are vulnerable to the whims of our star, but it also sparked our curiosity. Scientists want to know more about these powerful events. We need to understand them to protect our planet. The Carrington Event began with a bang. A massive solar flare erupted from the sun's surface. This was no ordinary flare. It was exceptionally intense, and it was aimed directly at Earth. The flare launched a coronal mass ejection, or CME. A CME is a giant cloud of plasma and magnetic field from the sun. This cloud hurtled towards Earth at incredible speed. Most CMEs take days to reach Earth. This one arrived in just 17.6 hours. This speed was alarming. It indicated the CME's immense power. It also meant that Earth had little time to prepare. As the CME slammed into Earth's magnetic field, the effects were immediate and dramatic. Auroras, also known as the northern lights, lit up the sky. These shimmering curtains of light are usually only visible near the poles, but on this night, they were seen across the globe. People as far south as Cuba and Hawaii witnessed the auroras. The skies glowed with vibrant reds, greens, and purples. Some people were amazed by the celestial display. Others found it frightening. The auroras were so bright that they lit up the night sky. People could read newspapers by their light. Gold miners in the Rocky Mountains woke up thinking it was morning. The Carrington Event had a profound impact on the world's telegraph systems. Telegraph wires, newly strung across continents, acted like antennas. They picked up the surge of electricity from the storm. Telegraph systems went haywire. Sparks flew from equipment. Some telegraph operators received electric shocks. Telegraph paper spontaneously caught fire. Communication was disrupted across the globe. Despite the chaos, some telegraph operators found ways to communicate. They learned to disconnect their systems from batteries and use the auroral current to send messages. The Carrington Event revealed the power of the aurora to carry electrical currents. Section 5. Carrington and Richard Hodgson, Witnesses to the Storm. The Carrington Event is named after British astronomer Richard Carrington. He was observing the sun on that fateful day. Through his telescope, he witnessed a bright white light flash on the sun's surface. At the same time, another British astronomer, Richard Hodgson, also observed the flare. Both men recorded their observations. They published their findings in scientific journals. These reports provided the first direct evidence linking solar activity to events on Earth. Carrington and Hodgson's observations were groundbreaking. They helped to establish the field of space weather. This field studies how solar activity affects Earth and its technological systems. Section 6. The Carrington Event and the Modern World. The Carrington Event was a wake-up call. It showed us that solar storms could have significant impacts on Earth. But what would happen if a similar event occurred today? The consequences could be far more severe. Our world is now heavily reliant on technology. Power grids, satellites, and communication systems are all vulnerable to solar storms. A Carrington-level event today could cause widespread blackouts, disrupt global communications, and damage critical infrastructure. The economic costs of such an event could be enormous. Some experts estimate that a major solar storm could cost the global economy trillions of dollars. Section 7. Predicting the next big one. Scientists today are working hard to improve our ability to predict and prepare for solar storms. Spacecraft like NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory constantly monitor the sun for signs of activity. Sophisticated computer models help us to understand how CMEs travel through space. This information gives us some warning time before a solar storm arrives at Earth. However, much remains unknown about solar storms. We are still working to understand the mechanisms that trigger these powerful events. Section 8. The Delicate Balance. The Carrington Event reminds us of the delicate balance between our planet and our star. The sun gives us life, but it can also pose a threat. As we continue to explore and understand the universe, we must also learn to live in harmony with the forces of nature. This includes preparing for the inevitable challenges that space weather may bring. Section 9. Our electrified world. We live in an electrified world. Technology connects us across continents, but this connectivity also makes us vulnerable. A powerful solar storm could disrupt our way of life. The Carrington Event is a stark reminder of this vulnerability. It is a call to action. We must invest in research, develop mitigation strategies, and strengthen our infrastructure. By understanding and respecting the power of the sun, we can protect our planet and ensure a brighter future for all.